Shalom. We want to give all praise and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah. Peace and mercy and blessing be about to you, brothers and sisters, throughout the four corners of the earth that are diligently waiting on the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. As you know, we're here to talk about the gospel, basically to reach the scattering of our nation. Since, the manifold, captivities that we've been under, knowing that this is the time that's coming to an end. And it's important for us to kind of reiterate one of the most contentious components of modern day Christianity, which is that all nations can be saved, which is basically one of the biggest lies. And part of the reason why that's pushed is because that's really, that concept in and of itself is a new world order concept.
Right.
They're trying to eliminate. They're attempting to create a society that makes everybody one people. In fact, they're even trying to eliminate really gender. It's heavily being attacked. What's male and what's female? So we're in a time and era where people are going to be looking for answers, and they're going to seek out some of the things that they grew up on as a source of their answers, which includes modern day Christianity. Okay, which modern day Christianity is nothing more than a counterfeit religion that's based upon the true understanding of the gospel. And so we're prefacing it what we're talking about, because we're going to go into really the bringing back of the elect under Yahweh Shai. Okay, and basically the seed of Abraham according to the promise. Okay, so we can go ahead and start off in Romans 11.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, has God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah, so if the Lord had cast away his people, he would have never had saved Paul. Because one of the things about Christianity, it says that the Israelites are no more. If you go to many Christian circles, one of the things they try to say is that, they're now born, and we don't know where they're at. But somehow, some way, the people in our land got an identity. But then the rest of the people, where are the other 10 tribes at? If them people is the real Jews, then where are the other tribes at? And how come how come they're not concerned about the rest of their brother?
Right.
Israelites don't exist, or it's just spiritual Israel now.
Yep.
No such thing, man. Not according to the book.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing about it, they'll never tell you about, where do these people those people in our land that don't believe in the Messiah, even in their Jesus Christ Messiah, where do they fit in the vine?
Right.
Because a part of the vine is Yahweh Shah, but they don't believe in him, so how would they be part of that vine?
They be part of it.
Y'all can't even answer that. So we got to go chop this down, because we've seen through various videos that our own people are against their own salvation.
Yeah.
Right. So we got to arm you, brothers and sisters, that when you start running into these people, you got to know exactly how to go in, how to have as a sister. You got to know what the true understanding and breakdown of this is, so that way you're staying firmly in your faith. Same, and then for the brothers, because you also have to stand for your faith. But also, y'all will be teachers. Some of y'all brothers will be teachers, and you got to be able to teach opposite of what's being taught out there to these people in these churches.
Right. That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. God has not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
So that means it's not a spiritual Israel.
That's the end of the conversation on Israel don't exist no more. Or spiritual Israel. What ye not what the scripture said of Elias, how he maketh intercession in God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what said the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So that was Isaiah pleading with the Most High, saying, look at Israel, man, look what they doing. They killing all the prophets. You know what I'm saying? And you still have mercy on these people. But the Most High said that he got, he reserved
a remnant
of his people, man, which is the elect. you know, that's going to not forsake him or his word. Verse 4. But what says the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
And that remnant is talking about Israel.
That's right.
I mean, that remnant is a remnant of Israel. Because that's who the Most High is looking for. Like in Romans 9:27, it says, Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. Yeah.
Verse 6. And if grace, then is no more works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But it be of works. Then is it no more grace? Otherwise, work no more work. That's saying you need both of them. You need grace and the work. They go hand in hand.
Yep.
Verse 7. What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election has obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes they cannot see, and ears that they should not hear until this day. That's why a lot of you brothers can't understand when we out here telling y'all the truth. You can't hear it, you can't see it. I mean, because you're spiritually blind by the Most High, man.
Yep. Modern day Christianity, you try to tell them about the laws, they say it's done away with. So they are blinded blinded from that truth. And then you look at certain Israelites, all law-based Israelites, they don't believe or have faith in Yahweh Shai. So they are blind to the truth. It's on both ends.
Yep, it works both ways.
Verse 9.
Verse 9. Verse 9?
Yeah, verse 9.
Verse 9. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. If their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their neck always, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Yeah, so it says salvation has come unto the Gentiles to provoke them to jealousy. Now this is talking about, like the brother was saying, the works. If you go up, when you go into the context of what we're talking about, the works is what the works of the law was what they were hoping to save them.
Right.
So what was happening was when you go up to that verse 6, grace versus works, you had a bunch of our people that were hoping that the works of the law would be enough to save them. That they would basically obtain salvation through the works of the law. But what the Most High did is took a subset of our people who are not looking to keep the law, and he basically pulled them into the fold.
Right.
And that in and of itself provoking them to jealousy, because they're realizing, how are these people believers, or how are these the ones that you're choosing right now when they didn't even grow up keeping the laws?
Yeah.
But we did. That's the argument that was going on.
That's what it is.
So you got to understand the context of what the brother was already reading earlier.
Circumcised versus the uncircumcised.
This is the reason why the Edomites, they never go into that. They never go into the law aspect, because the law never concerned Esau.
Right.
And a lot of you people that are so-called Christians, all y'all people that are if you ask a modern day Christian, are you an Israel? Are you a descendant of Jacob by blood? They'll tell you no, because again, that particular doctrine is made for those people. When you believe you're a Jew, you go to the Israeli state. You call yourself Jewish.
Right.
So therefore, you don't need this. The doctrine they're giving you is for people that believe themselves to be true natural Gentiles.
Right.
Right.
That's why believers of the church say we're spiritual Israel.
Right. Right.
But they read it, they don't see themselves. See this pertaining to them.
Yeah.
It got to be spiritual.
Yeah.
It's got to be spiritual.
Yeah.
Because we're Gentiles. Which their understanding of Gentiles, this word right here for Gentiles, that word saved, is talking about the Israelites that later believed in Yahweh Shai. And those were the ones that were provoking the ones that were waiting on the Messiah, or waiting to basically come into that fold, they were the ones jealous of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was to provoke them to jealousy that they may come to Yahushua. Mm-hmm. That they may open up their eyes. So yeah, you can. Go ahead. Keep going on that.
This is verse number verse 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles.
Yeah, and that word Gentile there is going to be should be Helene. Let's just make sure. Sometimes it'll say ethnos, right?
Yeah, sometimes it'll say ethnos, sometimes it'll say Helene. Yeah.
Let's just check that out real quick. Yeah, because the confusion of the word Gentiles is the context in which it's used. So what these churches do is they try and confuse you because they don't go over history. They don't go over the Greek history, which the brother's going to definitely get into.
They don't.
They don't go over it because if you go to a Christian church, they never talk about. They'll stop at Esther. They'll talk about Esther. Then all of a sudden they'll just skip to freaking Matthew.
Yeah.
You got like a 400-year period, 400 or 500-year period of no information about what happened to those people.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
This is proving what you just said with Romans 11, and
get the camera on this guy, man.
Verse 11.
On this guy.
Verse 11. I say, then after they stumble, that they may fall. God forbid, but rather through their fall, the salvation has come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to anger.
You got no questions, but just want to sit here and film.
So you got a question?
This guy will think
what are you guys into?
What are we into? We into the gospel.
About the Bible, you don't understand the
Are
Bible?
you Jews?
The true Jews.
Yes.
You're Jews?
Right.
Yeah.
What about the Israelites? Are they
You're
Jews?
Israelite. Jews is Israelites.
They don't call themselves Israelites over there. They call themselves Israelis for a reason.
Yeah. The rest of the tribes, they call themselves Jews.
Yeah,
In order to be a Jew, you got to be from the tribe of Judah.
So they're not.
Right?
So they're not the real Jews.
No, they know it. They wrote their own books about it.
Okay.
Have you heard of Arthur Koestler?
That's right.
No.
The 13th tribe?
From Europe. They from Europe. Anyway.
Arthur Koestler wrote a book where he says that these people are not the real Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know why would you? What you need to do?
Even Hitler said it.
What you need to do is you need to go talk to those guys among their own people that say that they're not the real Jews.
Yeah.
Our book. It's our book. This is looking for us. Those people on that sign, that's what it's good for.
So
Right.
Judah, Benjamin. So are the Israelites of today?
All of those
Israelis?
people are the
Are they in these
Israelites.
tribes? Any of the other tribes or no?
What you mean other tribes? They right there. That's
Like
the 12
Benjamin,
tribes.
Levi, Simeon.
That's all Israelites. Israelites is the whole nationality. And then you got tribes.
Oh wait. So Judah. Judah. What's names are Benjamin, Haitian, Levites? Okay. Okay. What about me? What am I?
Oh, well,
Well, it
based on your
depends.
spirit, you can tell that you're definitely not a person that has compassion for our people. So you're probably the oppressor. You're of the oppressor nation.
Is that because I'm white?
No.
It's because I'm an oppressor nation. What's the nation?
Because
of oppression?
for one, our people, their modus operandi is not to do what you did. Our modus operandi of our nation will be to actually converse and ask. The fact that you
I'm asking
came up,
questions.
Wait, I'm answering your question. The fact that you came up, didn't say a word, and
I'm
then
just trying to figure out what you guys are about.
you sound like you're trying to basically, undermine us.
I don't understand it. I just wanted to know what you think.
Preaching the true gospel. And
already
let
told
it be known who the true gospel is for.
So are you
according to the Bible.
But wait,
According
you're
to the Bible.
Jewish, but you believe in Jesus.
We Jews, we not Jewish.
So do you believe in Jesus?
The ish is kind of sort of want to be like. That's what that means.
He knows. You see,
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're playing semantics and you're playing dumb.
Right. I'm asking, do you believe in Jesus? Because my Israeli friends
You're asking.
You believe in Yahweh Shai, that's his Hebrew name.
You're asking multiple questions and not even allowing us to answer one. As the brother's speaking, you start asking another question. You know why? Because you know you don't know anything.
Because I'm an oppressor.
If you know something, then you will be able to teach something. You don't know because so you ask questions. You want to answer, you don't want us to respond. So what are you here for?
I'm asking, do you believe in Jesus?
Believe in Yahweh Shah.
Do you believe in Jesus?
No, I don't believe in anything.
Exactly.
Okay. Hey, well,
for you.
Get Psalm 14,
so
Psalm 14 out.
you're right.
Same for you anyway.
Get Psalm 14.
This is how the brother already knew what the spirit was before you even came up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Psalm chapter 14 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that do it good.
Exactly.
Bible just broke you down, bro.
okay, well,
Bible just
See?
broke
But
you down.
if you know one thing about our people,
Right.
our people are have a zeal for the Lord. Yeah, Romans 9 and 1.
Yep.
This guy already exposed himself as an Edomite because he said he's an atheist.
Yep.
In the scriptures, it identified that the Israelites are people that have a high belief in a higher power.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
when you go into the land of the Israeli state, which is nothing more than a state that's federally tied to the U.S.,
Right.
they're the highest rate of atheism on the planet.
Right.
So how are these people calling themselves Jews, but yet the majority of their people are atheists?
Come on,
And listen, he's lived there for years.
Well, wait a minute. I
And he
didn't say I
knows.
didn't believe in
Yep.
God. I just said I didn't believe in Jesus. Why does it make me an atheist? Does that make you an atheist?
Your brother asked you believe. You don't believe in God, bro. You just said you don't believe in it.
Scripture say you don't
Yeah,
believe
you're
on the
right.
Son. You
I don't
don't believe in me. Scripture
Okay,
say you don't believe on the
let's
Son,
do
you
it
don't
like
believe
this.
in
Let's
me.
do it like this. Easy question. Okay, so you say you don't believe in Jesus, but you believe in a God. What's the name of the God you believe in?
I don't believe in anything.
well, come on,
You
man.
just- come on.
I
Hey,
believe
come
I'll
on.
have another beer. All right,
Come on.
fine.
Come on.
See?
As the scripture just said, continue to do wickedness, God.
You see, bro?
Hey,
Very easy.
Hey, very.
He tried to say, I didn't say I didn't believe in no God.
Yeah.
You see how he walked away?
Just wicked, bruh.
The dude knew he don't believe in nothing. The dude's an atheist, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Through, man.
Through. Guy coming up here with all this crap, bruh. Brothers in the midst of getting edifying the people, man, and here
And
come
they ain't had nothing to talk about.
and here come the
He
thing.
really wanted to come up here and try to scoff.
Yeah.
Yep,
But he
that's all.
couldn't.
That was what he
couldn't.
wanted to
He
do.
ain't had no room to.
Yeah. Get that. Yeah, you don't need to get it, but
Yeah.
this is going to be Romans 9. You want to get into that Maccabees, or what you trying to get into?
I was gonna go into that, the second address on that part about get back to the Romans and that when we was
Dude was a weak demon, man.
Yeah, bro.
He was very weak.
he was an Amalekite. I seen it.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah, cause that dude was up there talking about my Israeli friends. Yeah, well,
He an
yeah.
Amalekite. He ain't want to say because he know he just got his feelings hurt.
He knows. See, he already knew this setup.
Yeah,
It ain't like he came up here not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
He always plays stupid like
Come
that.
up with the phone recording.
You done seen, brother, if you live in Houston, you done seen guys here for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not going to know what's going on. That's how it happens, bro. You know.
these dudes are straight demons, man.
Dude knows he's going down, bro. Mm-hmm. Trust me, man. Them people, the guy his age range, they be the highest rate of suicide in
yeah.
America. Right?
They see,
right.
yeah.
The
That's
highest rate of suicide is a middle-aged Edomite
Uh-huh.
between the ages of 35 and 55.
and that boy probably bred it up, and he's very studied on information too, bro.
Yep.
And he know what's going
He
on.
be watching them little things where they talk about the declining birth rate.
Come on, I.
He be watching videos like that.
Check this out. We just went to a convention. I went to a convention on Friday, man. It was like a homeschool convention. At the homeschool convention, after, the sister, there was a sister up there who was speaking that me and my wife wanted to go see. After the homeschool convention, they brought up these so-called Christians or whatever. There was a panel of them. Guess what the topic was over? Decline in birth rate, bruh. The two of the women on the panel was up there just saying, how could God do this to me and I can't do what my body is supposed to do? Decline in birth rate, because what's happening is y'all reaping what your ancestors sowed upon us, bro.
Yep.
Y'all can no longer reproduce the way that y'all used to or the way you supposed to. So now you're going to in vitro, and a lot of these women can't even get pregnant even with the in vitro, bro.
Yep.
That's letting you know how much of a curse is being placed upon these people right now. The numbers are dwindling through.
You know what's really happening? Edomite women delay marriage later. They
What?
do the career thing.
Now check this out, though.
That's really what it is.
Here's another thing. Both of these women got married in their teens, bro. Couldn't get pregnant couldn't get pregnant.
That
That
J dudes, they got pregnant though.
Yeah. It's been different on that because they had two Edomite husbands, and they were like, well, Jacob saw that dude real corny like dude or whatever.
A lot of them Edomite men have low sperm count because of all the drugs that they take.
Yeah.
A lot of times that after effect of it is really what they're doing lifestyle wise. That's leading to their low sperm count.
Yep.
Low ability to conceive. It'd be a lot of times their lifestyle, man.
And man, these Edomites their rate is at 30% right now, bro. That's a high rate of people trying to get pregnant, bro, and they can't get pregnant naturally. 30%, bro. That's a lot of people, bro.
Yeah.
So that lets you know that
when they come up here like that, man, how you be doing with that semantics?
Yeah, all that
then
crap.
You want to make fun of the book, kind of. I'm gonna have me a beer.
So I dropped it
over here for anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. They know that this is a sign of going down. Deep down inside, in their subconscious, they know that this is a beginning, is part of their end.
Psalms 14 cut him right.
Yeah, that cut him real quick. Yeah.
He was sick when he heard it though. Like, yeah, go ahead and have you another beer.
That's good.
I don't believe in a God.
Go to your high rise and sleep with your dog.
I just said I don't believe in Jesus.
Well, he's a wicked joker, bro.
Couldn't even give you a name for God. Then he gonna go back to I don't believe in nobody.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on, make your mind up.
For real.
Wicked, bro.
These guys is done, man. Man, I gotta watch this. I had some downtime while I was watching the game. But while I was watching the game, I was watching this YouTube video. It's on basically how like the future of white control on the earth, basically. And it was two guys talking about it, and they're basically like doomers, what you call doomers. And they're basically like, listen, it's done. The dude was like, letting them know. He was like, it's over for us.
Yeah.
He was saying that. He said just based on what's going on politically, based on birth rates, based on the tension that's around the earth. He says we're going to lose our control very soon.
That's right.
And the other guy came on there to basically let him try to create a strategy on what they can do. Basically trying to show them how bad it's going to be for them if they don't change anything in the next 50 years. Dude, he was so bad. Like, he was like, listen, France in the next like 20, 30 years is going to be majority non-white.
Yep.
All these countries, like Canada, they went through the whole thing. Like America, they went over America, like what the largest ethnic groups will be by 2040 something or 20.
That's why the orange man pushing that immigration stuff so hard too. That's one of the reasons. Can't stop it though.
Yep.
Shoot, Jake breeding like rabbits up inside of this place, man.
Come on, man. And see, now they done pushed out a law for them now for these Edomites that they can get jail time for abortions, bro.
Yep.
Right.
So that's letting you know right there. They ain't putting the same stipulation on Jake because they dropping Planned Parenthoods and everything.
Affect Esau's birth rate too, and the Jake women too. When they had so many abortions in the past, it make them hard for them to give birth.
Yeah. That is a big
took
thing.
a lot of birth control during your period of time. Then you get off of it.
Come on,
somebody gonna take maybe some years for you to get back right.
The girl that was on the panel, 19 years old, was on birth control, and they said that they wanted to live their life before they had a family. So when the time
they've been on birth control since they was like 12, 13.
Yeah, bro. So and
that stuff messes up your reproductive ability.
Come on, bro.
Because you've been on that thing, they lived it up through high school, through college.
Yep.
And they was on that stuff, which was messing with their hormones. And now when they try and conceive, it's like your body's like, listen, all the hormones you didn't mess with. Yeah. It's not allowing me now to conceive.
Right.
And that's what they didn't tell these women, man.
And what's so cold is when you do in vitro, bro. That's a high probability because they're actually putting the sperm inside of the doggone egg and putting it back in you. If it don't work like that, bro, you done really did some damage to your body.
Yeah, because it can't. It's not in the proper environment to actually grow.
Right.
So they can fertilize it and turn it into a zygote.
A zygote, yep.
And put it inside of you, but your body is like you done had abortions, or you done messed up your development. You gotta remember, a lot of these women that get on this birth control, their body's not even fully matured yet.
Right.
Especially these rich Edomites, they put their daughters on that stuff right when they know their daughters are getting active.
Yeah.
And then they be on that joker for 15 years.
Yep.
Before they actually get off of it and try and get pregnant. So what they did is you done created a chemical imbalance in your body. And it probably stunted the development probably of your uterus.
And they,
inside.
Them chemicals though, you don't tell how long that stuff stay in your body once you get out. That might just be an active ingredient in your cells or something.
That's why they gotta get surrogates.
Yeah.
Really, and that's a lot of money. Even if you're a middle class Edomite with bread, it's too much money for you to probably get a surrogate. Some of them have to go to India. What some of them is doing, they're getting surrogates in India. That's the cheapest thing to do. So they go to India and they get surrogates because they can spend a lot less money.
Bruh.
Why? Because I'm white?
Man, you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
That lady
should have told him that.
Right.
Said that.
Yeah. Man, it's funny you said that because the lady said that since when they were down here and they couldn't get the in vitro to work, they had to go overseas. They went overseas to have it done, bro. And then they had a successful one and had a daughter, but after they had the daughter, it usually opens up the floodgates for them, right? Couldn't have no more kids after that, bro. It was done. Went all the way over there to England. They said somewhere, the Czech Republic or somewhere, to have the process done, and they finally took. They did it 4 times over here. Didn't take. Went over to the Czech and did it a couple of times, and they took on that one, and then they had the baby girl. After that, couldn't even have no more kids, bro. I was like, hey.
And Edomites don't like having kids too, man.
They don't, bro.
Because, like I said, I worked with a girl. She called children pet human.
Yeah.
And to this day, she still ain't got no kids. She's like probably about 40 now. She lives out in California. She got a boyfriend, but she ain't never want to have no kids at all. She told me. She's like, I'm not trying to have no kids. I was like, I don't want to have no dang pet human. She said, I ain't want no pet human.
Yeah, they're like the ostrich in the wilderness. Esau,
Esau don't care about their own kids, man. That's why I see the thing about it. The problem they have with the lack of a birth rate is their problem.
Yeah.
Because they got the resources to have families.
Right.
When Jake has money, man, Jake man have money, he gonna have kids.
You put some pads on that boy gonna look like a trailer house.
Yeah, bro. That's a big old dude, man. That's a big old.
Gonna look like one of them steamrollers, like you roll on on working on the street.
Yeah, man. If Jake get bread, man, look at P Diddy, man.
Yep.
P Diddy got that bread, man. He got multiple women. Just
Eddie Murphy.
But when you get with Esau have trillions, millions, billions, or whatever. Them jokers be like one kid, or if they adopt.
Look at Steven Spielberg. He a billionaire. He went and adopted a kid.
Come on, bro.
And didn't have a brood of his own.
Right.
He should have had a bunch of the kids himself.
Bro, let me, man.
Their lifestyle, man.
Man, if I would have been rich like that, bro, man, you'd have seen all kind of little me's walking around there, bro.
For real.
There'd be a ton of them.
AI.
Yep.
LeBron.
Come on.
LeBron to have more kids. If his wife get pregnant again, he can have more kids.
Yep.
You know, look at AI. AI got like 6 kids, I think, something like that. 5 or 6.
I got Jake next door to me, by my age.
Yeah.
And he was over there talking to me today under the garage. He was talking about the Issachar right.
Yeah.
He was talking about he said, man, I done messed up and did it again. I said, man, my old lady pregnant over there. I seen it today. I was like, her stomach was way. I was like, dang. But Jake reproducing, man.
Yeah,
Jake can't.
Yeah, because man, you know, Jake ain't got that.
I've never seen the answer from Esau, who complains about the growing amount of so-called minorities and the birth rates. And, they're breeding like rabbits. I've never seen an Edomite say, why don't we, with all of our resources, start having more kids?
And it wasn't no problem whenever they was the immigrants, the main immigrants coming in. It wasn't no problem.
And you know the reason why? Because the woman, y'all done did the sexual liberation with y'all's woman, and the women don't want to come off and enjoy themselves.
They want to be on the seat at the same table with you. They want to be able to do what you do.
Yeah.
They don't want to be stuck at home with the kids.
Yeah.
That's what they doing.
Mm-hmm. And they know that's the biggest battle that the Edomite man is going to have. And the elites don't give a damn. Which one of you regular Edomites is scared? The elites is planning a global takeover.
Right.
With the New World Order. Everyday Edomites is worried about why Texas is about to turn blue or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You everyday Edomites, y'all got to get with each other and make up a solution of what y'all going to do about y'all numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got the resources.
Yep.
Y'all be, you see an Edomite out there, y'all be living in a $500,000 townhome.
Come on.
Out in Rice Military, and y'all be 30 years old and don't be caring about not having no kids, man. All y'all got is 2 dogs.
Come on, bro. That's all it and poor dogs.
I'd be amazed that Esau's audacity sometimes, man. Their audacity they have never.
See, what was that? Yeah, man, because they dudes don't have no cool, bro.
Standing right here, man.
Exactly.
Short Edomite, he come up here, you know, like trying to scoff and talk crazy.
You see the pride inside them people, man. Them people are proud, bro.
Yeah, they come open up that camera. They get their camera phone. We turn the camera on them.
Now
we'll make you famous.
Now you gonna be on.
All you gonna do is put on your Facebook with your little 400, your little 100 friends, and then
you gonna share it in this little clique, your little secret society.
Look, man, they said they're real Jews, dude. Can't do nothing against keep the form. Because your friends gonna look up and then they're gonna be terrified, man. They're gonna go on the internet.
They're gonna see
blacks are real Jews. They're gonna see
tons of information,
tons of videos, and then y'all gonna get bothered by the word, man.
And you know what? Like you just, man, he's supposed to come up here just for stuff like that to happen. So when look at these.
He gonna help spread it out.
Yep, that's right. That's how it's gonna help spread.
Yeah, because of these nations, everybody has to know what. Listen, the event that's about to occur on the earth is so big that everybody got to know it. Man, as many people as possible got to know and be told this is going to happen.
Come on, man.
That's right, man. That's what the Most High always did before he took down a nation. He always sent out his prophets to get the word. Whether they was heathens, they had to hear. Like Nineveh, they had to hear what was going to happen to them.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Like all these other nations had to hear what was going to happen.
Daniel was talking to Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
And giving him the whole rundown of what's going to go down. And Darius is right at the gate.
Right at the gate, bro.
Ready to invade, man.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Let it be known. Hey. And he told that joker, he said, man, you're going to be out in the pastures with long nails eating grass with the ox.
This ain't nothing new that didn't happen in the past. Only thing you witnessing it live. Right now about to go down. You witnessing the Most High prophets out here preaching the downfall of America. You witness it. You're not reading it in the book.
And deep down inside, they know it, man.
Right.
Because in their own circles, when they ain't talking to you, butter biscuit eating Coon Jakes, you think, oh man, Chad, man, he's a cool guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got to change up your voice for him.
Your Bojangles fried chicken eat.
When that dude goes back, when he gets on 4chan and Reddit forums, he's talking about how, you know, man, I've been in Houston for this many years, and man, they're just everywhere. I'm starting to see these people.
It's funny because see how it started to manifest. Because see, brothers been out here for a long time, man. But Esau, most of them ain't even, you know, they're like, man, I ain't seen that. I know guys at my job, man, that was up there like, I ain't never seen this before. But now you jump on that, hey, man. Those black Hebrew Israelites are on the corners, man. They're all over the United States. Yeah, that's right.
Esau, quit coming up scoffing. Come with the Bible. And come debate us with the Bible. Prove that you're supposed to be part of this.
Come on, man.
That's all you got to do.
Part of the spiritual Israel. They grafted in.
Come on up here and prove that you're supposed to be part of this, man.
Yeah. Grafted in. Because none of the Edomites ever say that. It's funny, the Edomites never say, well, listen, I think I may be an Israelite.
Right.
No, y'all don't.
They don't never say that.
From the get. But let's not let the devil take us from off the matter at hand, bro.
Go to it. That's why I had to segue with that.
But I was gonna get you a precept for that Romans 11 and Romans 11 and 11. In Romans 11:11 say, I say then, as they stumble that they should fall, God forbid, but rather through their fall salvation has come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fulfillment? So, the brother had said earlier that these Gentiles, who this particular verse is talking to, these are Israelites that had got away from keeping the Most High's law and His commandments. And that was the Most High say, the ones that was keeping the law and commandments, because they was disobeying Him also. He said, I'm gonna provoke y'all to jealousy, and I'm gonna give my word back to these people who haven't been keeping it. Which is the same. They all the same people, man. They all people. Israelites.
That's right.
So this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 2. Y'all already know where I'm going.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start at 7 though. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant, Woe be unto thee, Ashur, thou that hidest the unrighteous in thee. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clods of pitch and of heaps of ashes. Also will I do unto them that hear me not, said the Almighty Lord. Thus said the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel.
And that my people is speaking of the elect right there, of Israel.
That's it.
And see now, I brought that same scripture out to a Christian, and I asked it at my job, and I asked him, I say, if it's not for Israel, explain to me this verse. And he couldn't do it because he didn't know who it was, man. He was confounded by the scriptures.
Because you know who his people is. His people is Israel.
Yep.
But he just said he gonna give a kingdom to his people, which was meant for Israel. It's kind of confusing, but then again,
to the unlearned,
that's right.
Yeah, we just read in Romans 11,
right?
Romans 9 and 27,
right?
That the remnant that's going to be saved is Israel.
Is Israel, bro?
So that's the elect among Israel.
Precept upon precept, man.
That's right.
You know, now the word there in the Gentiles in that Romans 11 is actually ethnos. Now the usage of the word ethnos is still pertaining when you look in context to those that didn't believe,
right?
That were Hellenized, that were following other customs,
right?
And how you know that is if you go to Romans 11 and 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. The word there for Gentiles, the Gentiles that were carried about by dumb idols,
right?
It's also ethnos,
right?
And the comma is after Gentiles. Let you know that when the definition of ethnos in regards to the context of the gospel is still referring to those that were not keeping were not in the law anymore, that were not under the covenant,
right?
Meaning that they were basically had run away from it.
That's right.
So that even proves it, because the fact that the word ethnos and Helen could be used interchangeably, shows that ethnos still is pertaining not to other nations, but to those that were basically went into idolatry,
right?
And that's in 1 Corinthians 12, verse 2 proves it. And one thing that's heavy about this, if you understand like English literature and the way sentences are formed, punctuations, you can confound completely any of these scholars that are out here in these seminary schools, man. Any of these pastors, they'll be confounded, because if they are studied up on actual English literature and those type of things, those rules within writing, they'll know what you're talking about, and they'll have to fall back.
Right.
You were Gentiles. Wait, but y'all call yourselves Gentiles in them churches, man. Y'all supposed to be word. Y'all supposed to be has-beens. Just like when you go into 1 Corinthians chapter 6, it goes into all the different sins, and he says, such were some of you.
Such were some of you,
So meaning that you used to be like that, which is also a form of being a Gentile. You know?
Keep reading.
Yeah, keep reading.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 13. For I speak to you, Gentiles, inasmuch I am the apostle of the Gentiles. I magnify mine office, if by any means I may provoke to immolation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
Come on, man.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Wait, if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world, meaning that if for their sake that some of them need to be casted away in order for the reconciliation of the world.
Of the world.
Reconciliation implies a previous relationship that was broken apart, and that was brought back. You can't reconcile. I can't meet a new woman and be like, I didn't reconcile with you.
Come on,
That's right.
Come on,
That ain't happening, man.
Like the scriptures say, when Paul said that he best you go reconcile with your wife. You know what I'm saying?
Because that was that's right.
That means go and try to work it back. Go back.
And that works for the world is cosmos. It has to be. It can't be oikoumene. It can't be ion.
It's cosmos.
It's cosmos, a particular arrangement of a set of people, man.
Yep.
Period.
That's right.
So how could he hold off on those that are his brethren, and also say reconciliation of the world?
Right.
If you're a Gentile, according to Christianity, if you're a natural Gentile, you was never under the God of Israel.
Right.
Until the Messiah came. Mm-hmm. So then when did he ever have a relationship with you?
Right.
Yeah. So he changed her.
Oh, shoot.
But then, I am
so
the Lord.
On that,
I am the Lord that changed not.
Amos 3, Joel 2 and 27. You only have I known among all the families of the earth.
Jehovah's Witness said, oh yeah, he did. He changed. He went back on it though. He went back. He had to backtrack on it.
They go to Joel, read about Armageddon.
Yeah.
But we was talking about it last week. Edomites ever asked, why is Armageddon going to happen? And the answer's in Joel.
Right.
Read.
That's all you got to do.
And Joel says the reason why he's going to bring Armageddon is because to punish them for what he did to his people.
Right. They never go into that. Why is it? Because it's in their spirit. They know who they are, man.
So that means if you're a nation that's going to fight in Armageddon, you ain't his people, man.
Yep. That's right.
And I'm
all you Edomite Christians, y'all gonna have y'all spearhead tip of America and NATO. Y'all gonna go into war, but then y'all not among the nations being punished.
Yeah, I'm
set up, man. Most I said, yeah.
I'm gonna bring this out. This Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. See, this is the reason why the Most High doesn't change. Because if he did, we could be consumed by we consumed by these people right now. Because they done changed the truth.
They're trying to take our identity, like they done did a lot of
low key, they pushed that though.
They pushed it.
Because what you're saying is actually what they said he did.
Yeah, exactly.
He changed, therefore we were consumed.
Exactly.
So when you ask about where's Issachar, they say, hey, he was done away with. You know.
Yeah. Come on, man. See, so that's why the Most High doesn't change.
Yep.
So that we're unconsumed, so we won't be consumed by all these philosophies and these religions of these other people, and especially these Edomites who coming in as imposters, man. So that's why we're able to come up against these demons that just walked up here.
He ain't got no answers, man.
Because he ain't got no answers now. Because now brothers know what's going on inside the book. It's being opened and revealed to us. Now our eyes are open and our ears are open, man.
Yep.
So now they come up with that crap. Now we can go on ahead and be like, get out of here, demon.
Yep. Easy work, man.
You can't contend with the
truth of these scriptures.
Man. They can't contend with it.
You cannot even have a national debate. You can't even put a group of Israelite brothers that have good understanding of the scripture just from a covenant standpoint. Not from a gospel standpoint, just from a covenant standpoint, old and new.
Yeah.
And put them in front of any of these pastors. They would be through.
Put your best scholars.
Oh, man, come on. We seeing it on a daily basis, bro.
He had, just like that Edomite a couple weeks ago, he gonna want to say he might as well kill himself.
Yeah.
If they had a special on TV and they saw that, a lot of Edomites would be like, man, I might as well kill myself.
Come on, man.
That's the conclusion he came to.
That's right.
He came to the conclusion that it wasn't even worth it for him to live anymore.
Yeah. Might as well just go jump out in front of a car.
Yeah. And he was serious too.
Yeah, he was serious. That dude was up there. That dude say he was up there trying to find the truth. Okay, you can find the truth. You might not like the answer to that truth.
Yep.
Because that Edomite actually saw when the brother asked him, he said, well, y'all basically gonna be in the state that we are in now. And his conclusion to that is, I might as well kill myself.
Yeah.
He sees that the state of Jake today is so bad, he'll be willing to jump in front of a bus, bro. That's how serious that is right there.
That lets you know how much bad he knows it is than you, Jake.
Come on.
It's worse than y'all than a lot of you average Jakes be thinking.
You gotta really marinate on that and think about what that guy said. He would rather step in front of a speeding bus rather to be in the position of Jake, bro. That's heavy right there.
And mind you, he was trying to act like he was suffering under some
exactly
elites.
Exactly.
If you suffering under the elites, we should be equal. I'm suffering the same way you suffering, then you answer your question. You know that it's different levels to this.
Come on, man.
When you go in there, like if you look at history, even the Roman Empire, even amongst some Edomites in the Roman Empire, the different governments, they had problems with each other because there was mistreatment going on amongst them. Right. So how much more the Israelites that were in the Roman Empire?
Right, right.
So they had grievances against emperors and Caesars. Mm-hmm. Their average common everyday Edomite had a problem with them sometimes.
Right.
You know, we done fought these wars. You didn't give us no land like you promised. Then they go and fight against them. Then they grow up different political factions.
Yeah.
Same stuff was happening. It always happened in all these different kingdoms. They always had division. Yep. Sometimes amongst them. But especially when you look at Esau stuff, you had division amongst the four generals.
Right. Right.
Of Alexander. Then you go further on, you get to the time of Caesar.
Right.
Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar had to go before Julius Caesar got killed.
Thou know what thou readest. Thou understand what thou readest.
Sort of, and then sort of. You bring it back. You bring it back.
Okay.
Next time I answer.
Okay.
Okay? I can bring it back.
Stirring the remembrance. But yeah. So yeah, the dude, you know, he grafted himself good, man. The guy wasn't spiritual Israel. He came up on spiritual Israel. Again, why are you waiting to jump in front of a train?
Yeah.
A bus.
See, and the thing is, right. Because see, a lot of times when these cats come up that look like these Edomites, you got to give them a benefit of the doubt because you don't know. But the thing was, the brother asked that guy that particular question. He said it's predicated off faith. He said, I don't believe in that. Well, you ain't of Abraham, seed, man. So this ain't for you. It was an automatic. See, this is how
he disqualified himself.
This is how the scriptures just open it up for brothers, man.
Yeah. So
he up here, you know, he could probably fake it for a little bit. But then you ask those questions, man, and then it's a discerner of the thoughts of men, man. Come on, bro. This book right here is cold, bro.
Yep.
Cutting to the spirit, soul to the bones and joints, bro. Yeah. And there's a discerner of spirits.
Discerner of the thoughts and intentions of man.
Yeah.
He in the word.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
You got it. If you trust in this sword.
That's why it's called the sword.
That's why it's because they cut, bro.
And see, the impact of this word was as a death blow to him. That made him want to kill himself.
Right.
Just this word.
Yeah.
You got to think about how heavy that is, man.
That's some heavy stuff right there, bro. That's some real.
This thing is actually a weapon when you wield it the right way.
When you wield it right, look what happened in the book.
He got a wound and he was like, man, fall upon me, man.
And you know, Esau knows that's true. Because look at the book of Eli. They made a movie about it, man.
Yep.
He say, man, this book right here, come on, man. You get it's a lot of power and control in this book, man.
Yep. That's why the jockeying is over really this book, man. This book is the only one that has future prophecy. You do have the Quran. Quran only talks about the Mahdi.
Yeah.
Which that's just a play upon the Messiah.
Come on, man. But
that's why they put it in there. But he ain't got no prophecy about who's gonna fight who.
Right. Come on.
Most I put whole prophecy about who's gonna fight who, what's gonna happen to who, where they gonna even down to what certain events will happen on certain lands.
Come on, man.
Ain't no book like that on the planet. You know, your rulers, they look into these things, man.
Yep.
Oh, heavy. There's a series on the History Channel on UFO sightings. It's a 6-part series. Started yesterday at 9 o'clock.
6-part series?
Must watch. It's basically about the U.S. government admitting to knowing about UFOs.
So, did you watch it?
I watched part of it. I got to record it, so I'm going to watch it.
So I don't know if this dude, there was a guy on YouTube called The Seed of Israel, I think his name is. He did a video.
Well, RT talked about how I knew about it was RT talked about it yesterday. That's how I knew that the show was going to premiere. Okay,
so it might be the same thing. Now, he showed a piece on there with the sun. They got this big giant telescope and the sun, and they said that it was an eclipse going through, right? So you would assume the moon phasing through and blotting out the sun.
Correct.
Bruh, the moon, supposedly the moon went from west to east and then came back east to west. Bruh, the ship that they saw on that thing was so huge, man. The people was like, man, this thing is massive. If that thing was the cup, they say it was like the size of a planet. It was so big, bro. I was like, man, look here, bro. calling it the fathership. I was like, man, look, they blot out the sun and the moon and the stars with that one. They get close enough to that earth.
Right. Yep.
So, man.
Yeah, this thing is what's going on. This prophecy is full on in motion, man.
Yep.
The bringing back of basically the elect.
Yep.
To that vine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We're actually, in fact, we're almost at the scripture point where the vine comes.
Yeah.
And Romans 11, verse 15. I'm going to read 15 again. Mm-hmm. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be? But life from the dead? For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
So even in here, the ones that were Jews or Israel, that was non-Gentile, right? Mm-hmm. They were casted away, but he says, but if they're also brought back, what will they get? Mm-hmm. Meaning they're going to get the goodness.
They get the goodness too.
Yep. So showing you that both sides,
right,
at this particular point, just like in the early part of Romans,
it
says in concluding that all men have sinned and come short before Yahweh.
Yep.
Right. And that in and of itself caused everybody to automatically start off in a castaway state. That's right. Nobody starts off attached to the vine.
That's right.
This is Romans 11, verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. I mean, all of this is connected to one vine, one tree, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying.
That's what it is, bro.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree. Boast not Israel the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear.
Now, this is where the Christians will come in and say, see, this is where we were grafted into this piece. But, man, look, you don't graft in something that's opposite of what that vine is, man. Right. You graft in according to that vine, man. You don't come in and be like, oh, yeah, let me take this willow tree and graft it into a vine tree. That stuff don't work like that, man.
The scripture just said you can't just say you part of the branches. You part of the root.
Yeah.
You got to be part of the root.
Yep, that's right.
You be a part of the root.
That's right.
You got to be originally part of that root.
Yeah, you got to be part of the root.
You can't
just
be
say I'm a branch.
Yeah. You got to be part of that root, man. And see, these people are not part of that tree, and then they trying to tell you that they're grafted into it, and that's not the case, man.
For a tree can grow and get branches, it got to grow the roots first.
Come on,
And remember, the first is very important. The primary, man. That first fruit was already holy, man.
That's right.
Yeah. But see, what happens is when you have a plant, if you have a plant that comes out of a righteous seed, a good seed, as it grows, some of those plants, some of those boughs and branches that bear fruit are not good.
Yeah.
A lot of times in gardening, they'll cut those off.
They'll cut it off.
If it's like bad, it's like withered, it's like not, it's looking like it's corrupted. A gardener will go and prune it.
Yep.
Will be like, these got to go.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that because when you got because you might have a branch that splits apart, and the good fruit is growing here, but then on this one, it's not growing well. What you do is you got to cut the one that has the bad fruit growing off, so that way it'll cause the other one to have room to grow more good fruit.
Yeah. You cut that branch off so that the energy will flow upward, and then it'll produce more fruit. On the good branch. So the fruit that's not bearing so well, you cut that off so the energy doesn't even go towards that. It's flowing towards the goodness and never towards the bad.
Yep. And the bad one is known as wild.
It's known as wild. That's right.
That's why you got to cut it off. It's wild. That one's got to go.
Yep.
But then, as he keep going on, he talks about what he can do with those.
Yep.
Thou will say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off.
Yep.
And thou standing by faith, be not high-minded, but fear.
See, he's saying their mentality is that those branches were broken off to make room for me. But they were broken off because of their unbelief. Not because I made room for you. That's what he's saying.
Right.
The Lord didn't break them off because, I was trying to make room for you.
No, that ain't what he said.
He said, no, I had to break them off because they wasn't doing what I wanted them to do.
And what is that?
And you were doing what I wanted to do, which is faith.
Yep.
That's why I put you in there.
And so what was it that those branches that were cut off not doing? They were not being fruitful according to the Most High's will. And so that by that faith, because they lacked that faith, so unbelief, I got to chop you off.
Yep.
No faith in my son, out of here, man.
Yep.
But they can still come back in if they
believe.
If they believe, and then they can be grafted back in as well.
This ain't talking about no Gentile nations, the real true Gentile. Because if they were, what they did to get back, what they did to let the Most High just let them get in and enjoy the goodness, man.
Yeah, what did they do? What did they do to be part of this thing, man?
They still run around here like today. They still run around doing whatever they want.
Proud, arrogant.
You know, it's odd. These Edomites saying that they're Christians. They took over the world, let's say 1492. They came with this book, yet didn't hold to what the belief was of it. The feeling is that they took over because they believed in this. No, they took over because it had nothing to do with their faith. That's the biggest thing, the trick about this whole thing, is that people believe that because they came with this is the reason why the Lord. That's why the earth was given into their hand.
But then they don't even consider themselves to be Esau when you could see that blessing was going to be upon y'all down at the end anyway, according to our forefather Jacob.
Yep. Y'all didn't need to
not Jacob, my bad, Isaac. Isaac he said, y'all talking about Esau, thou shalt have the fatness of the earth, but by the sword shall thou attain the fatness of the earth. And so that's how y'all did it.
Yep.
And then y'all come up and say it was manifest destiny.
Yeah.
Oh man, God damn.
Manifest destiny. Right.
Yeah, manifest destiny is one of their main things. It's a belief that it was a destiny. It was destined for them to take over the earth, really, just to rule.
Yep.
That's why they started making up all those things, saying, well, look, the reason why, instead of just being truthful about why they're ruling, they said, well, look, it's because we're superior. Instead of creating this false sense of superiority, creating all these different doctrines about how they're really just naturally superior, they start talking about guns, germs, and what is it? What's the thing? The three things: guns, germs, and steel. Well, that's the reason why we had an advantage. They start running everything else except for the fact that your forefather Esau got the blessing.
Right.
Everything else. Our intelligence, our spatial, and our cranium.
Right.
No, we just had more access to guns. We had access to steel, and then we also had access to, being able to fight off diseases, the germs. See, when we came to these different places, when we read in the history, y'all created actual warfare, disease warfare. That's what y'all did. Y'all created disease warfare against different peoples.
Yeah.
On it will.
Yep. I know.
Then that's probably one of the little boy, the little girl mama.
Yep. I was out there about too.
And she with her, the little girl with her boyfriend, and the mama walking with all her butt hanging out. And the little boy walking behind her, looking at her butt, looking at his mother-in-law butt.
Yep. They're gonna be fighting over him. She might throw a pass at him, and then the daughter gonna find out.
Yeah.
And then be mad at the mom. That's gonna be going down for real, man.
Yeah, mess around and know that the son-in-law coming to the house. She answered the door in some negligee, talking about, "Oh, I didn't know you was coming." or she just called you. Then go in there.
Yeah.
It'd be some old movie type stuff, bro.
Right.
Boy, I tell you.
Keep going on that. We can see some fire.
This is verse 21.
Some fire.
But if God spare not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and sovereignty of God, severity of God on them which fail, severity. But toward thee, goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise, thou also shalt be cut off.
And that's where you go in with the just and the unjust. Goodness towards the just, severity towards the unjust, man.
Right. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For God is able to graft them in again.
Come on, bruh.
Come on, man. So that just lets you know. And how come these spiritual Israel people don't talk about if the Israelis are the real Jews? Why aren't you trying to help graft them back in?
Come on.
If that's them.
Right.
No, y'all just leave them alone, and your boy John Hagee tells you to pray for them. Instead of saying pray that they believe in Jesus, you say pray that they're protected from the Palestinians.
And send them money. Bless them.
Man,
God don't bless you.
Christians are through, man. Christians is out of there, man.
Done.
If y'all believe this what just said, and you believe that them people's real Jews, you should be praying that they be grafted in by belief in Jesus.
Come on.
But ain't none of y'all Christians out there talk about y'all need to pray that them Israelis believe in Christ.
Right.
Heck, they don't even believe in a higher power.
Come on, huh?
Most of them don't even believe in a higher power, man.
Them dudes,
one just come up here.
Them dudes got the same mentality as the Greeks. They'll create their own God and then destroy their own God, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
In fact, an example of that is Mithra. Mithra was a new god that they created later on. Mm-hmm. And they created Mithra later, which really they borrowed it, I believe, from the Persians. Because Mithra, I think, was one of the gods of the East. Mm-hmm. And they adopted it into Roman culture towards the end. That was the last huge idol that they pushed during the time of the Diocletian persecution.
Yeah.
That was the idol that they were making the people bow down to or face death.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't care, man. Esau knows this stuff is all remixable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why a lot of you Edomite Christians are abandoning the faith.
Right.
Y'all's fake faith.
Right.
At a high rate.
At a higher rate, man. They're starting to leave those churches, man.
Yep.
And Jake, you need to get your act together, man, and start coming out of those whole houses.
Building more,
They building more.
They're building more iglesias and churches. You go to shopping centers in some of these areas, and you got one shopping center might have 7, 8 of them jokers. Iglesias, the word of God and truth.
They got a zeal, but not for knowledge.
Yeah, come on, huh? Not according to
that
knowledge.
501c3 done made it easy for them guys to hustle up on that thing.
And not only, and when they could have just abandoned the 501c3 and started their own thing up, and still wouldn't have had to pay no taxes, bro.
Yeah, and if you think about it, what's so heavy about that thing is that those people that open up them little shopping center churches, they don't need that many people to make a lot of money.
Right.
Because a lot of them guys that work with them, that have those churches, they work regular full-time jobs. But now their income is getting supplemented by all these donations from these loyal 100 or so people.
Yep.
So as long as they getting maybe 300, 400 a week off of the plate that's being passed around in that small 20 by 15 room that y'all got leased out or whatever, they good.
Yeah.
If they get more, they could go lease a bigger spot.
Right.
And then y'all can start inviting more people, and then they start making $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month on top of their regular day job.
Right.
And it's tax free.
You go tell them statements to the bank. You better go get them a big church.
Come on, man. Now they want to be mega like Osteen or doggone TDJ.
You go over there off the Beltway, like Wilson Road and all that over there. But they got 2 mega churches they done built. One of them, the church is already built. They built a mega right on the side of it. The same church. They just rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Looking just like the little one, but it's bigger.
Come on, man.
I'm like, man, where is these folks getting all this money from to do that, bro?
The Most High got a conveyor belt out here. That's all we gonna say, man.
Boy, boy, that's great.
And these dudes need to just come and just get their wives, man. It's getting out of control,
Bro, I mean, hey man, jokers need guidance out here, man.
Ain't got nothing.
You're ridiculous, man.
Dad is at all.
Hey, man, I see. Hey, little short sidebar. I seen this girl. She done moved. It was on YouTube. She moved down to Houston. And she moved down from another city. And she moved over here, and she was just like, she said the competition is just too much. She said she got to go. She moved to Atlanta. So she said the competition in Houston was so stiff and crazy, she had to move to Atlanta.
Bro, this place is
that's how crazy it was.
This place is bananas, bro. It's straight bananas around here, bro. Man, golly, boy.
Oh man,
this place is straight bananas,
it's
man.
Crazy, man.
I don't know what to say, bro. I really don't. Yeah. Today has been something else, man.
It has, bro. I think it's the heat.
Hey, man, golly.
It's gotta be the heat, bro.
Bro, this stuff is insane, man.
Yeah.
This stuff is great.
Got to be the heat.
Golly, man. This is crazy.
Bro.
Yeah, they've been out and about today, man. That's absurd.
Oh my goodness, man. This stuff is crazy, man.
Yeah, all tribes too. See, like they've been sliding out here, man. But yeah, man, you know, just it's close.
This ain't for you, your other nations. That's all it is, man.
Yep. And it's a doctrine thing.
Don't take it personal.
Right.
Like what we told to do, just say,
That's what they gotta stop doing, taking it personal.
yeah.
They taking it personal, man. Like I told these already, this book ain't for you. This book ain't for y'all.
Yeah. And just on a doctrine level, we're saying, like we told to do, we're saying, let's just say we don't know who's who. What the scripture saith is something specific about a particular set of people.
That's
Right.
Let's say we just don't know who's who.
Yeah.
You have to come to the conclusion that this thing is for a particular set of people that believe among the nation of Israel.
That's what the Christians realize, the Christian pastors, and then these theology schools, they realize that this book is talking about a particular people. That's why they want to say spiritual Israel.
Right.
That's why they come in.
That's why that spiritual Israel is important, because they know Israel's going to get the kingdom.
Because they can't find spiritual Israel nowhere in those pages, man.
Yep.
You ask them for the chapter and verse where spiritual Israel is. And remember, everything has to flow from the old to the new for it to be validated, bro. Mm-hmm. So that thing right there is out of there, man.
Yep.
Because that's the first thing, like I have a dude that asks me those same questions, and he talks about that spiritual Israel. So I asked him, I say, well, show me in the Old Testament and spiritual Israel so they can precept with whatever you saying spiritual Israel is. You can't do it, bro.
And most of them agree with you that the Bible got 16 nations in the scriptures.
Uh-huh.
So I guess all the nations is gone too. So we all just spirits. We all part of Israel.
Hey man, everybody Israel now.
Yeah.
Moab. Oh, we Moab. No, y'all Israel now.
Right.
Shoot, everybody Israel now. That just lets you know how much folly is inside the doctrine of these Christians, man.
And how Jake don't studying on his own to try to.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's a sad thing, man, because man, you just don't. You know, there's a reason why those prophets, those apostles went out there and started teaching that. They say, man, we therefore knowing the terror of the Most High, we persuade men, but they not willing to even hear that, man.
Mm-hmm.
They want to give blessings to all other nations and so that everybody can be kumbaya together. Man, that's not intentionally what the first intention was, man.
Yep. We start at verse 1.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. Well, my well-beloved has a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choice vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked in that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
Come on, man.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes? And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it to waste. It shall be pruned, nor digged. It shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds, that they rain no more upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. Woo! And the men of Judah his pleasant print. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Woe unto them that join house to house.
Man,
hey man, that's a mic drop, bro. You can
come on, man.
That's a mic drop, bro. That's a mic drop right there, bro. That's it right there, bro. That's it, man. Hey man, that's it.
Like, yo, I was like, man, there's a scripture. I said, I know there's a scripture from back. Yeah, read from I haven't brought out in a long time.
That was a mic drop right there, bro. That hit.
So I was like, man, Isaiah 5, man, that's a
5.
cold cut.
That was it.
Just no nation there. He said that vine, that vineyard is the house of Israel, the house of Judah, man.
Man, that's a cold one right there, bro.
Come on, man. That right there is like, listen, man. That right there is like the freaking KO to the whole other nations grafted in, believing in Jesus.
That's that spiritual.
You know? And what's heavy about this one is this is like a summary. Mm-hmm. It's a very quick summary in a few verses, but if you want to go into the middle of it, you get these other precepts.
Yeah.
You know, like Jeremiah 2, chapter 2, I think in verse like 12 or so. You know?
Right.
Shoot, we can go ahead and close it down.
You got that.
This is Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now, when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much, and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she had poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her.
That's right. First, we want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua. Peace and salutation to the brothers that's doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.